Good morning and welcome to the Lakeside Viking News. I'm Braden and it's Thursday, May 5th. Let's get into today's brief LHS announcements. Join Lakeside Theater on Zoom this Friday at 5 p.m. for the announcement of the 2021-2022 season. The meeting will also discuss specifics around the in-person auditions for the fall show. The auditions will be held May 11th through 13th. Check Instagram for the link to the meeting or email Mrs. Hayes. Attention art students from last year. Mr. Schwager still has student artwork in his classroom that has not been picked up. If you want your art back, please get in touch with Mr. Schwager and arrange to pick it up soon. Thank you. And here is Mr. Schwager's email. Attention all Vikings. If you did not take your picture on picture day, you have a second chance to send in a personal makeup photo. A link with information from Studio Balfour about how to send in your photo will be sent to your parents' email, so be sure to ask if your parents have received an email. If you do not send in a photo, we cannot promise you will be in the yearbook. The deadline for sending in photos is May 19th. And now, to Ethan with the news.
Hello Lakeside, Ethan here, once again here to bring you the news. President Joe Biden wants 70% of U.S. adults to have at least one COVID-19 shot by July 4th. A goal he announced Tuesday along with steps to vaccinate harder-to-reach populations and preparations for vaccinating teenagers. About 56% of adults have received at least one shot. The page of vaccinations required to reach 70% is much slower than the speed with which the nation got to its current levels. Vaccinators are moving beyond the most vulnerable populations and those most eager to get vaccinated. Biden said that the next phase could be more challenging than initial efforts, which required purchasing enough doses for every American and setting up a massive distribution system. The Food and Drug Administration is preparing to authorize use of the Pfizer vaccine in adolescents 12 to 15 years old by early next week, opening up the U.S. vaccination campaign to millions more people. Pfizer announced results from its initial trial in adolescents showing that the vaccine is at least as effective in that age group as it is in adults. Vaccinating children is key to raising the level of immunity in the population and bringing down the numbers of hospitalizations and deaths. The clearance, in the form of an amendment to the existing emergency use authorization for the Pfizer vaccine, could come as early as late this week. A Mexico City subway train overpass collapsed onto a busy road at Beloa on Monday night, killing at least 24 people, including children, authorities said. More than 60 people were injured. Photos and video from the scene showed mangled train cars hanging from the crumbled overpass and rescue personnel searching and transporting the injured on stretchers. A support beam gave away, Mexico City Mayor Claudia Sheinbaum said at the scene. She said the beam collapsed just as the train passed over it. The mayor, wearing a hard hat and face mask, told reporters at the site that 65 people had been taken to the hospital and 7 were in serious condition. And now to Mix Werner with our weekly subject segment.
Hi, it's Mix Werner from the English department, and today we're going to talk about how to write a paper in MLA format. The first thing I'm going to do once we get in here is I'm going to go ahead and give my document a name, and this is going to be the title of my report. Since this is a fake report, I'm just going to call it title. So that's up here. Next, I'm going to go ahead and do my MLA header, but first I need to change some formatting things. So I'm going to start with the font. Up here, we've got this long toolbar, and font is over here. The default is Arial. I need to change it to Times New Roman. If it's not in your recent fonts at the top, you are going to have to scroll down. They're in alphabetical order. So down to Times New Roman, and it needs to be in size 12. I can either type 12 here in the font size, or since it defaults to 11, I can just hit the plus button once and it will go up to 12. Start by typing my name first and last as it appears on my roster. My professor's name, Dr. Whomever. My class, let's say it's 5th period, and let's say it's due on May the 9th of 2021. Those of you who've written a report in MLA format will notice this doesn't look quite right yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of this, and I'm going to go to Format, Line Spacing. I need it to be double spaced for it to be MLA format, and that's just one of these options here, so I'm going to double space it. I'm going to hit enter. Now I need to put the title in my paper. So we go back to our toolbar up here. Right now the paper is left align, meaning everything I've written so far is flush with the left margin. The title needs to be in the center, so I'm going to click Center Align, or as you can see, I could do a keyboard shortcut. I could do Control-Shift-E, but I'm just going to go ahead and click this. I'm going to put in whatever my title is, change it back to the left. For indentation, to start my paper, you need to indent 1/2 inch. I can hit the tab key on my keyboard. That automatically indents 1/2 inch. I could manually mess with the slider at the ruler at the top. Not the arrow part at the bottom, but this flat horizontal bar, first line indent. I'm just gonna drag that to 0.5. 0.5 means half. Or I could do it in my format paragraph styles up here. So it's indented 1/2 inch. Now I start typing my paper. One more thing is you do need to put in page numbers at the top. That one I'm going to go to insert, go all the way down to page numbers. And I want my page numbers to be at the top of the page, up in the header, not the bottom of the page in the footer. So I'm gonna click the page numbers at the top. And now you see I'm in my header, this top margin. I'm going to put my cursor in front of the one and type my last name and a space so that now every single page in the document as I'm typing will have my last name and then it will have the page number. But wait, the font up here in the header does not match the font in my document. So I'm going to highlight this and just go back over, change it to Times New Roman, size 12 again. I don't need to mess with line spacing because it's the page numbers up in the header. Not necessary. Now, once I'm done typing my paper, I'm going to have to do a works cited page. And for the works cited page, I recommend going to the Purdue OWL. The Purdue OWL is from Purdue University. OWL is an acronym for Online Writing Lab. It's actually an acrostic because it spells a real word. And it will show you, it'll go through all of the steps to create a citation, depending on whether it's a website, a physical book, a newspaper article, even a movie or a YouTube video, or like the Bible, anything like that. And fun fact, later when you're in college, if you wind up having to do papers in other formats besides MLA, the Purdue OWL's got you there too. Over here on the left, you'll see Chicago style, AMA style, APA style, IEEE, which I've never heard of. Whatever style you need instructions on, the Purdue OWL is going to have really clear instructions on how to do it. Also, if you're citing a website, at the top of the page at the Purdue OWL, you can put the URL right in here and click the Cite button, and it will create the citation for you. This is powered by the citationmachine.net. You could also go to easybib.com, and it will do the same thing. Now, I did promise you an easier way, didn't I? So let's go back to our Google Docs home screen. If you don't want to do all of that, if you look up at the top, don't click open up a new blank document. If you look here at the top, there are templates available to you. And this one says report MLA format. You can just click this baby right here. And when it opens, it will have the whole template loaded up. And then all you need to do, close this lad, then all you need to do is replace the information that's here in the template with the information as it applies to your actual paper. I hope this helps. Happy writing!
That's it for today's Lakeside Viking News. Have a wonderful Thursday.